Hello.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing, man?
I'm doing okay. It's been a bit of a tough morning, but I've got my coffee now and I'm ready to do this. How about you? How's your day
Yeah,
been?
I'm doing good. I just got home from work, so perfect. The EU NA differences is always interesting, but glad to have you
Yeah, for
here.
sure.
So,
Good to be here.
yeah, so from what I understood, like we chatted a bit in DMs, you wanted to like mainly just focus on like macro strategy, as you have already kind of reviewed this with your team already, which is like all
Hmm.
good. So I'll try to do my best to keep it inside those older stuff. If you don't mind, I'll like comment on stuff like here and there, but try to, of course, mainly keep it to the macro stuff. And if
Hmm.
you like have specific questions or anything that you want to be talking more about, feel free to just let me know whenever, kinda.
Yeah. I think also like I'll tell you like what notes I've already made
Mm,
with these two and outside of like the team fighting stuff, which is mainly what I reviewed with my team,
mm,
communication stuff, which I reviewed with my team, and like individual mechanics stuff, which I actually reviewed with Aiden and Mithy.
mm.
Um, I think like already, I think the like biggest thing or like the easiest thing to fix for the future is I'm not opening my map enough. I'm
Yeah.
opening my map way more than my teammates. I know that because I saw their footage as well, but I should be opening it up, I think, like way more often. So it may be a little tough for us to review macro based on me not opening my map enough.
We'll still get like in the general idea, so it'll
Yeah,
help. It'll
we
help.
should.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. That's some good notes. Sadly, I can't screen share at the same time, or my PC gets slow. I know I need a new computer, but I'll try to just go through. In case with stream, like the delay should hopefully not be too bad, but then I'll like explain in detail,
Yeah.
and you'll kind of catch up. Mostly, we'll be talking
Yeah.
when I'm like stopping stuff in general, but yeah,
Yeah. Let me
I'm
get
interested
your
to.
stream out real quick.
Yeah, I'm just prepping the first
So,
one. So first of all, I recognize like names of the first team? Is this one you like subbed to, or is this like a
um,
team you guys made for the first NA day, or?
this is a team that, well, for the most part, me, Nidhogg, and Lunatherius were like, we wanted to group up for an A this playtest. We
Mm,
didn't play all of North America together, and the fourth guy that we had ended up subbing out a couple of days because either he wasn't feeling well or he couldn't make the time for it.
mm.
Um, so so yeah, it isn't a team I'll likely play on in the future because I think Nidhogg's mentioned that he wants to play with other people next time.
Mm.
But but yeah, it wasn't quite sub in, but kind of.
Yeah, understandable. So first of all, I would love to just hear what your guys's general idea about the early game. Like, how do you like to play it? If you would want to change like your general concept about early game, like what are you thinking here when you're in the dropship, you see the map like this, and like progressively how you want to be thinking about how you play the first stages.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I was looking at this map and I was marking like we're really close to stacks. We could probably drop stacks early. But Nidhogg saw we have Robber Raccoon because of Soulbound, and there's a
Mm.
Kaiju Vault right in the middle. And so he was like, let's just drop Under Rot and go for it. Um, but yeah, if it was me shot calling and making a decision, I probably would have said let's go stacks or gridlock down towards machine, down towards scav bait, just because I know that area is like a very consistent early game.
Mm.
Especially with how this meta was of just you wanted tons of camps, you wanted tons of vaults, so you could just like farm up your items. Uh, that would have given us a very like solid early game, I think. The kaiju start wasn't bad. It just was like very contested, as you'll see.
Mm.
So it was a little hectic, and we were level one for probably longer than we should have been.
Yeah, I think that's good notes. Yeah, I agree. Like the kaiju is the easy one to be seeing like as the main kind of contested area because of how the face of the dropship is. I think I would like, if this was my team in this drop phase, we would probably play into industries, or if we would play kaiju and then straight down to Cold Fang. I at least personally value a lot of like setting up for late game, especially in show matches, where stacks I think is good, but mainly if, say, gridlock is an area with gold armor. So I think in this game specifically, I wouldn't want to prioritize stacks because you don't really have any nearby objectives. You can't really run to contest gridlock or scavenger dome caps because all of the legendary armor is on the left side of the map. So it's going to be hard to get value out of the level 6. So sure, you can like kill people potentially and get like value through that. But me personally, at least, I really like the gold armor setup for late game.
Yeah, I would agree. That makes sense. Especially since, like, with Robber Raccoon, I think maybe you'll disagree. I feel like the one weakness of Imatech is that vault sucks so much. It's so hard to like safely capture it when that POI is contested. But with Robber Raccoon, you can just snipe it and then you're good.
What will be interesting this game though is that I am personally a big fan of this vault in Shards of Fate, and the reason why is of course like I'm a KP main, and there's 100% chance of a grapple hook in Shards of Fate. So
really?
Yeah, I don't know why, but like I asked the dev about it, and apparently they think that is the pool. The pool of Shards of Fate is like it's a very big vault. And the pools are like semi-set for the different areas of what it can be. But apparently the pool is too small, so there will always just be a grapple hook in there because of its mid-tier. So it's very interesting. So like I am personally a big fan of that. So we will probably like here rob Raccoon that vault and then instantly go in industries and have like a good advantage with power into whoever goes there.
Yeah, that is so interesting. Also, like that would have been great for our comp too, because grappling hook is not only Nidhogg's favorite power, but also I think objectively one of the best powers on Void.
Yeah, I think it's great. Like you get Void value. Like I've seen Nidhogg's crazy tech, and also like you have an Oath on the team. I think both of those hunters get like big value out of grapple hook. I think the second thing, like I would love to just ask you what your general perception is about, because I saw some pings over at like the Blue Vault. Do you guys ever go to the Blue Vault or like play for those kind of stuff in the middle, or?
Yeah, Nidhogg really likes those. Personally, they aren't my favorite because I feel like a more consistent strategy to get to endgame and get a solid place in endgame is to drop in one of these outer areas, especially when there's something special about them, like stacks or Imatech here. Or now I know Shards of Fate special because of grapple hook. That's cool. Or machine.
Let's hope they don't change it for the next patch.
Here we go. Cross our fingers. Yeah, I'm also a huge fan of Scav Bay because of how you can get blue items from the chests there. Especially with new items there. That's really strong in my opinion. Like I really like going one of those areas and then moving inward or moving towards the towards the circle, because I would rather have a start where I can just like get the powers I want or get some powers that can help like augment my gameplay, get decent items, maybe even get good armor, and then fight. If I have to hot drop for that stuff, that's fine. But that's, I feel like, a bit more of a coin flip, and in a show match at least, I feel like those coin flips are not so what's the word, like not so advised.
No, I agree with you. I think in general, I talked with somebody yesterday, I talked about like the mid drop, where some people value safer starts with the Blue Vault, which is fine, but I think a better safe options in general, which is worth noting for people in general, is that you can get the same armors in Machine, and then there's also the chests in Dawn Caps with gold chest and gold chest in Chaos Steps, which can give you the same early game start with blue armors without needing the downside of just being in the middle of the map kind of stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I think that's like a good early game thing.
Yeah.
I like your drop in general because you're range comp, so you guys can easily just try to hit the people on the right side. Ooh, I see you guys are like not really contesting the creeps at all.
No. It was a call of like, let's just immediately rush the vault.
Yeah, I think like a small thing here, I would probably send one person to kind of bitch the camp just to steal some XP. Like for example, if you just send like you yourself or Seth there to just send either double RMB Celeste or one RMB Seth to steal the small creeps from an enemy and then run and take this other camp together with the team, because then you're kind of fucking up the team and then you still like have time to help out, because I don't think you're put in danger. Yeah, fair start. I think already, like, has he used, yeah, it's a bit, has he not used Robber Raccoon?
No, I think around now he realized that he was the one with it.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. So, like, the call for the kind of just forgetting to check, which is fine, you know. Yeah, so you're meeting up with people there, they're level 3, kind of just respecting at this point. Synoid sadly just got level 1, it seems like. I'm surprised.
Yeah, and get all the camps.
Yeah, I'm surprised the enemy doesn't want to contest it. Yeah, okay, they are. Yeah,
I think I was pretty suspicious too. I'm like, do they have a flank or something? So.
Yeah, because immediately when I just see a level advantage of 3-on-1, then or 3-on-2, I would probably just want to go instantly.
Yeah, and I managed getting Synoid here because he doesn't have his dash.
Yeah, but yeah, one short thing. So you guys had this early game. What was your plan like now? You see this circle, you kind of like go fuck Synoid is dead, and somebody took Kaiju Vault in a C position. What do you guys want to do here? Like, what was the plan in general?
Yeah, I forget exactly what Nidhuck's plan was, but I think I was probably looking at like Vault and Prisma, then maybe down towards Enshrine, and just like get a good place in the end circle. Because like from here, I already see, okay, it's gravitating, the storm's gravitating towards like Cold Fang, Sky Rats. It's probably going to end around there. So like going around there. And also like Cold Fang was way out of the way. Maybe we could just like rush over there, get something. So like, I think we end up just going like to the shop and then to Enshrine or something like that.
Yeah, I think like here I agree. Like I would either at this point probably just send one person to maybe just run to Coldfang to see if somebody's there and try to get the bonfire. Because if nobody moved here and just one guy runs there in the meantime, then the rest can either try to hit Prisma Falls, get the Vault powers, or hit this one if they don't feel it's as safe. And that other person can prep Coldfang, kinda. If there is somebody then that touches the bonfire early, and you see like, oh shit, we're too late, then you're still like halfway there, and you can just turn for Enshrine and still like play around the edge for people coming in there. Because then you still have your other teammates just having Prisma Falls. Because most people were dropping either early on right side or Kaiju, so there's still like a decent chance to be able to get the Coldfang armor.
Yeah.
And now you also see somebody in Prisma Falls. I guess it's safer to just put everybody down to Coldfangs now.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see. You guys get up Synoid. Yeah, we'll go Enshrine, just trying to get levels and etc. You got a really good mana cloak here. Yeah, so wait. Yeah, so you do spot one team is at Coldfangs, so that's fair. So I see you guys calling for Vault. I think that's a good thing because you kind of just need something back. What would you want to do after this Vault? Like, what's your idea of what wanting to do from this part?
I think from here, going towards Catacombs.
Yeah, I like that too. Like, take the Vault, hit the UAV, see position, and then probably just run and get some more powers in Catacombs. I think if you hit Catacombs and you see maybe teams far away, this could be an option, but of course there's a high likelihood of the blue team coming down there. But yeah, I think Catacombs is just the best after that. But that might be a potential fight against green team.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you get the
Yeah,
UAV
it might
early.
be.
So yeah, it looks like there's two teams here, so Chaos Steps
Yeah.
is probably gonna be hard. There's no other info. There's a 3-piston I wouldn't really care about. So your best shot here is either trying to third party somebody. This vault has wait, another rubber raccoon, which is kind of, oh, there's a chunker at least though. Yeah. Nobody actually took this. Honestly, what I would do is, since you get another rubber raccoon, I would take this vault, go here, rubber raccoon, and then play into position. Because you see already people going to catacombs.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just about to mention I saw that guy going up to catacombs, and it's like that plan's kind of scrapped.
Yeah, so I think like I would probably do this, go into here, and then you can recall, and then play like depending on where the next, because then at that point you will see the next circle, and probably like play down towards Skyrots and holding edge below.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because there's like one team around it, there's a high likelihood of the right side team always like already also using Robber Raccoon to take the vault because they were nearby. But I think it's like better than nothing because I don't see any other potential objectives on the map right now. You'll also have to see depending on where the night bosses are, but you guys are like back at even state at least, but it's a little bit
rough. We managed to recover the early game okay.
Yeah.
We aren't exceptionally strong, but we're okay. Yeah, here I think the call was basically just we see all these teams north of us. They'll have to move into us. Maybe we can just like get a bush camp or something and jump on them third party, like you mentioned.
Yeah, I think so. Like most teams, they're gonna be coming from here or here. So
yeah, I like the strategy you suggested though of like take the rubber raccoon from this vault and then go to Prisma and rubber raccoon that vault, especially because we saw that it had blue armor. And like armor is one of the things we're really missing right now. Like we've got powers, we've got levels. Our items aren't looking too bad considering we haven't fought anybody. Really all we need is armor now.
Yeah, so like after this vault you can hit the creeps around, try to get some more, and then you have a shop below. Like if you have some excessive gold, then hopefully you can buy some more armor in the shop below. But yeah, we see like the first night boss is UAV helm, which I don't personally value high really.
Me neither.
All. Yeah, so like it's good to just look for if you want to get level 5 and it's free, but there's a team close by and you know like people coming from both these angles. So I think your best bet is kind of prepping for soul. So you can like already see it when night falls where they'll start dropping and try to early rotate to souls to maybe contest that.
Yeah. Oh no, I've got an ad.
There's nothing special right now, so it's all good. Yeah, so I'll wait until the ad because this, fun enough, now we see the souls coming. So I've seen
I think it ends towards Enshrine, right?
Yeah, so like on the towards Catacombs and Enshrine. So I think like looking at this, like the first one will go towards Catacomb teams, which you can't really do anything about. But at this point, don't remember like what soul it was. But the second one, you could just insta recall on Enshrine and then maybe look for the second one. I would probably, if you don't want to play for the vault, instantly recall now and try to look. Oh yeah, I see you guys recalling, which I think is really smart. Yeah, you get armor, so sadly you don't really have armor, you know, but it's a good preparation at least. And then another team shows up. Yeah, so now it's like onto the fighting.
Yeah. It was at this point that we realized we have no anti-heal, and so there's like not much we'll be able to do in terms of fighting comps with a lot of healers.
Yeah, you lack like this would be a really good comp if it was like 2 patches ago before like the healers became really good. And at this point I think like you have to play for third parties or just out poking, but poking again like against healer comps is kind of hard at this point.
Yeah, and here mechanically I'm like maybe I can rubber raccoon the armor away. but I
Wait, can
don't
you
think I
actually
succeed.
wait? Can you actually steal armor with Robo Raccoon?
Yeah, it's anything that's dropped, I think.
Oh, that is dropped. Oh yeah, you're thinking about the soul boss
Yeah,
armor.
the soul
Okay, yeah,
armor.
yeah. I was about like you want to steal their armor. No, then I agree. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think that's a good
Can
call.
you imagine?
Yeah, I was about to wait. That, I didn't remember that was a mechanic.
Yeah,
That would have been
but here
hilarious.
I see they've already got that green armor. That not much we can do. So we end up backing off.
Yeah, so at this point, I think you're kind of just like struggling objective-wise, so you kind of just need position and try to look for third parties. It's all about
Yeah.
like seeing if you can bitch a team into another team, basically. But it's kind of
Yeah.
hard for your team in such open areas because you don't have too much control to force people around, but
Yeah.
rather look for like catches, maybe. That's like your best shot. Yeah, they're level 5 here, so now it's kind of just get out, play position. Alright, I want to see if I can find next time. Okay, a new fight. I was gonna say next time you find or like open your map. But here. Oh, that shift is a little bit rough. Yeah, I think like they're level 6, you kind of just got level 5. I see their powers are really good as well. I would probably just not try to fight this at all, run and look for third party. Because like objectively, I don't think you're in a position where you can fight them at all. Like you can kite backwards. Like I like that you guys are kiting together backwards at least. But at this point, you just want to be looking for third parties. So
like if there's anything our comp does, it's kite.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, and then he's sadly kind of lost in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, here you can quickly get the rest below you at least.
Yeah.
I like that you're holding the side at least. You're spreading out and holding your angles, which I think is really smart. Making sure that you just have value of where they can potentially come from if they want to stop you. I think I also looked at this game from Steven H's POV actually. I think they probably should have tried to gun for you guys because you were in a really weak spot compared to them.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Also, this was like our third Robber Raccoon.
Wait, did he actually get something from this vault?
Our fourth Robber Raccoon. Oh my god.
God damn.
Yeah, we didn't even check the vault. We were like, yeah, this is definitely taken.
Yeah, there's like 3 Robber Raccoons on the floor.
Yeah, Lunatarius has a Robber Raccoon. I have a Robber Raccoon. Nidhogg had a Robber Raccoon. There's 3 on the floor.
Yeah. But yeah, so
no, we did get the vault. We did get the vault. That's where I got the health packs from.
Yeah. Alright, so you spot one team on the left. I like that you're setting up with the chunkers. You also like spot another team on the right here. So now you're in a really rough spot as there's like a team on your left and right as well. I would probably want to try to push down because I think your best way of fighting right now is over Abyss because you're like objectively weaker than most teams. So I would probably go inside Forge, TP out, and try to play on the islands on the side there.
Yeah, that's what we end up doing, but it's in response to getting nuked. So
yeah. Because I think like the standoff here, when you know there's a team on the left side, I think it's very scary. I like that you back off near here at least. TP is a bit down, but yeah, I'll probably try to just get out and set up as quickly as possible. Oh, do you? Oh, do you have a tight little corner there? Holy shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this should have been done earlier. But I think this is like the best position you can play from. Open area, play for spikes, like Celeste and Oath with spikes, I think is really strong for that. And like the stuns with Void can also help tremendously.
Yeah, my biggest regret from this game is later on I get Abyss Specialist and I don't abuse the hell out of it.
Yeah,
I play a little scared with it.
Yeah, I hope that you guys don't TP in there. I hope you guys just stay on these islands and then kind of chill at this point. Oh, the combo. Oh. That's a bit sad.
The plan.
I like the idea. I like the idea. Yeah, it's a very good idea. You see him alone there, try to just get the combo, but yeah, it's very smart, because that's the problem with Celeste Void right now, is that
it's so telegraphed.
Yeah, it's so telegraphed, and everybody knows how to counter it at this point. You just, stand in the teleport, and it's all good.
Yeah.
So that's kind of also why we sadly don't see too much Void Celeste. Although I think it potentially can be a good combo, just if Oath gets nerfed.
Yeah. I think also like the strength of both Void Celeste is not even the combo. It's just they both control space really, or Celeste controls space really well, and Void loves it when space is controlled,
100%.
So he can play at his tempo.
100%, I agree.
Like the combo is a little bonus.
One thing though here I think is very important, like as you're trying to kill the creep, I would probably want to play towards the left side. Like I think these creeps on the top side is very unrealistic to get, but you do have creeps below Cold Fang, so I think it's important that you try to get some XP while you're kind of on the back foot. Okay, it seems like you actually might be going for it now. Perfect. Oh, but then you spot a team. Feels bad. Yeah, so at this point, it's kind of just like poking.
Standoffice.
Yeah, they have Bear Eater, which they can't get too much value out of. This team is not too strong, though. They have a level advantage, but their powers are not really good. I think this is potentially the best fight you can take. But you, again, like as you said, like you just want to be playing poke, trying to get a catch, because if you're all in, then you might just quickly get third-partied. So it is a scary angle. I think, okay, what I would probably want to do here is that you can play these 3 islands and then try to bitch them out of the circle. Because, like, say somebody comes behind, then you still can play on all of the islands to help each other back and forward if somebody engage. So I think the safest thing is, for example, setting you all the way on the left side, and then, like, Void and Seth holding middle, and then Oath holding the bottom one. And then I think you can play on spikes, and if they jump onto you guys, I think you can easily follow up with those hunters from the sides.
Yeah. And that is a strength of our comp, is very hard to dive. Void Oath.
Yeah, because here I don't like that you guys are just giving them space for free. You're kind of jumping out of the circle, and this is the point, because there's still a lot of teams, so you kind of need something to get back. If you're playing to win, you need to kind of do something about the teams. I think holding this and like those islands and trying to do something is important.
Yeah, I think here the call was to take that like teensy little ledge to the right and then go up from there, and try and get like a better position in the circle than the very edge. But then we see that team is still there, and it's like we can't really just push straight through.
Yeah, exactly, because that was saying.
So then we go back.
Yeah, because I think you're in a position where you need to force something if you want to be winning the game, because you already knew there was one team here, and that team that you met earlier don't really have a reason to go away here, because they want to kind of bitch you guys. So if you hold these circles, which is then inside, then you can bitch the team below you without needing to get contested from the top side, and then you still can prep for the next circle. Because I don't think there's two, because like at this point it's kind of random where you can't really prep yourself unless you want to be playing with the circle, which I don't think you can do too much, because like it's not too much that is going to be moving. But you're just in a weak spot that you need to do something with the teams. I think if you guys are in a strong position, then you want to be playing early with the circle and set up towards other teams. I talked about this with Steve. I think like a rule of thumb that I find really good is that if you are behind, then you always want to be playing from inside out and trying to just be in somewhere in the circle and bitch people that is slow. If you're in a strong position, though, you want to play outside in, because you never want to risk having anybody behind you, and you are strong, so you can force people away from spots if you want to be playing for it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So of course that's not going to be like 100%, but I think it helps a lot of situations. So since Ceres is weak, you just want to try to punish people that are late into circle. So here goes the K team, like Spades here, level 5. Like they're level 5, 7. This is the angle that you, oh, I see what you're cooking here. Oh, I like this. I like this so much.
I end up misexecuting, but like here,
they just stepped on you.
This is insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was reviewing this with Aiden and Mithy, like they recommended one of two things, and I agree with both. And one was like I didn't even know Celeste could do this. One was I could have just straight up walled OC and pushed him towards my team. Hey OC, yeah, I see him in the chat. And the other thing is I didn't know that Celeste can kidnap with her wall by like dashing and walling backwards to just like drag somebody with the hitbox. I didn't know she could do that. I'm gonna have to like actually practice that now in a practice tool because that sounds insane to me. But like if I had done either of those things to OC, we straight up get a kill.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's.
And then also we get a nuke, which would be insane.
Yeah, there is also a third option, which I think, but that's like more team mechanic, because I think those two are really good for like just you being a carry. But I think if you are like a super like synergized team, what you do here, because I think it's really smart that you kind of you baited them into you by them dashing down. If you're super synergized, Synoid will use his tornado back onto your platform while you're ulting, and then Nidhogg will be back onto you to then TP on them, because they use shift to get away from you, and then by the time they tornado back onto this island, then he can teleport onto them and they have no shift.
Yeah.
That's like the 5-head team play, but then you need to like be kind of already aware that that's what you want to be doing. You can't really just
pull the communication needs to be immaculate.
Yeah. Because I instantly saw the potential there because of your team card. I think it would be so cool. Because actually, I will see it again. So cool. Let me see. Yeah, because they used Bishop Dash, Jewel Dash, and Seth Dash.
Yeah, like I burned all of their dashes, but then we couldn't follow up.
Yeah, because Synoid, because it's so funny, because Synoid comes over again with his tornado, but he just didn't take Nidhogg with him.
Yeah.
I think if Nidhogg is there and then instantly TP, I think you hit at least 3 of them.
Yeah.
But that was close. That was close. Yeah. Wait, what?
This may have been one of the few situations where we actually could have won a team fight with this comp.
Yeah. But also, why did you go back? Was it like Nidhogg was kind of stranded and didn't want to go up? Because I think at this point, again, as I mentioned, you kind of need to hold this island and try to force them off.
It was a little bit, I had taken a ton of damage and wanted to back off and heal, which in retrospect, I shouldn't have had to do because we have Zeph.
And you have health packs.
And I have health packs. But it was also Nidhogg wanted us to like rotate around.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. And sadly, you haven't even cooked your food, but I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I wasn't at a bonfire ever since I got the food.
Wait, did you not have food when you were at the Soul? Hold on, I'm gonna fact check you on this.
Let's go back because God.
This is important. I had this
like 3-hour-long coaching session with Aiden, and like the one biggest thing Aiden told me was cook your fucking food. So
yeah, you actually
I'm not
did.
Cooking my food at a show match.
Yeah, you actually did. Okay, it's cool then. It's cool then.
I didn't have food.
It was all good.
My reputation. Yeah, I will just like brag for one moment. The thing about this play that I love the most is there was actually a tree there, and I destroyed it and replaced it. So even if they knew the map,
that's so smart.
Even if they knew the map,
damn,
they wouldn't have been like, "Wait, there's an extra tree here."
I like that. That's actually I didn't think about that. I didn't think about it.
I was trying my best to cook with this damn tree costume. It's so useless.
Yeah, like you just gotta make the best of a bad situation, and this is like a pretty bad situation. So, oh, that's a good nuke from them. Yeah, you kind of just have to go down. You have a little pocket to stand on. Hopefully that team doesn't see you, but yeah, they do. I would want to scout on the right side. You're not really trying to look on your right side, which somebody could sneak up on if you're not too careful. Yeah, this is the rough part. Well, I'm surprised purple team gives you the space. They kind of just left the island. Yeah, I really think like purple, again, like as I mentioned with you guys, I think like just holding these islands against people that are behind, if they hold this island, I think you guys are in a really bad spot. Yeah, so now you see the next circle. What were you guys' comms like here? What's your macro plan right now?
Hello.
Welcome
My
back.
computer has completely shit the bed. I'm on my phone now.
Are you on the phone now? No, what happened to your PC?
I have no idea, but it's like my computer is fine, but it will not open Google. It will not open Discord. It will not open Twitch. Only thing it will let me open is the notepad. So I've got my notepad in front of me.
That
And I'm ready to keep
is
going.
interesting. Well, yeah, like if you want to keep on going, you can do that. Like I don't mind also postponing. Like if you want to fix your PC, yeah, it's
Yeah,
noise
I
for
think
me.
it's just my internet service provider went down or something because I just have no internet. But I have data, so
Sure, we'll get through it then. Awesome. Alright, so you see and you're back in.
yeah, I see on your stream now. Yep.
I don't know where I lost you exactly, but what I was talking about
Last
before.
thing I remember you saying was you don't know why Purple Team let us take the space back.
Yeah. So I was talking about that, and then my next question was basically from this position, like what were your guys' comms at this point, and what was the idea of how you want to be playing the next stage, basically?
Yeah, at this point, I think we're just seeing the next circle and we're trying to figure out a way to push up. I think Nidhogg's still looking at the space to the right.
Mm.
I think I kind of agree with you though, like that island to our left. I mean, I forget where Purple Team went.
Well, they
They
went
probably would have had to go
somewhere
past
left
that island.
side. Oh,
Somewhere left side.
yeah.
Yeah. So like I probably could have checked or ideally, um, like I get like the emergency platform and then like just like dash over and check with and then like if there's somebody there I can emergency platform and then like just scoot on back.
Mm.
Because yeah, I'm even pinging that island right there. I'm thinking like the only thing scary about that island is those bushes. But other than that, like we could go there and then rotate all the way around these teams that are fighting just north of us.
So what
Um,
I'm thinking here is that I think the north side here, like straight north, is very dangerous because one, like there's a team here, there's purple on the side, like somewhere around up here, but also when these circles happen, most people are going to be pushing in from this way. So I do like the pings
yeah,
on the side. I think your best bet is that the moment you see the next circle, you kind of just have to ball it all the way down on the right side. And then, as I mentioned earlier, like hold this spot and try to bitch people coming late into the circle. Because again, when you're on the back foot,
no,
I just think you need to be inside the circle first and then try to bitch people out.
yeah, yeah, all the way around there. Yeah.
I think that's kind of your best shot. Like there is a team above you here, but if you like Seth Nado on the right side, like put out some chunkers, wall, like put some arm beats, they don't want to be walking through it, and then try to get the spot on the right side and try to hold people off. Because when you guys playing with the circle, then I think the other team's job is trying to bitch you guys down or like out, and they can do it because you're weak.
Yeah.
Oh, a bit of it's fine. I know that you know how to do that combine. Oh, what happened to Sinoid there? I didn't know. Whoa.
Yeah,
Oh,
here the health pack thing, I think it got fucked up because I put the health pack behind me. I meant to dash on the one in front of me, but yeah.
yeah. Damn, Sinoid just got sniped, man.
Yeah.
A little bit of an ambitious ult from Luna. You do actually get a finish, like, which is good for you guys. You have the most wanted as well. So it's kind of lucky, but yeah, I think this is so scary. Yeah, now you get the purple team above you saw you. Now you're moving into the other team, and I think like here honestly, I remember the next part because I saw this from Steve POV. I think you guys only survived this part only because the other team didn't know how to bitch you guys, because you guys are now gonna, I know you're gonna go onto the corner on the top right there, so you have a team on your left, you have a team on your right, and the team on your right, they have 2 death zone nades, a nuke, and ghost with ult, and they just didn't choose to ult you guys or death zone grenade you, and you kind of just end up surviving.
They had a nuke?
Yes.
We were actually calming. We're like, we are so fucked. Like, if they have a nuke, we have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And then they didn't nuke us, and we're like, look, they don't have a nuke. If they had a nuke, they would have nuked us by now.
Exactly. So that's why I'm thinking, like, the importance of being inside the circle first. Because I think if you guys are this team in this spot and can, like, hold this corner, then it's, like, kind of cheesable. Like, it's hard for them to engage. Like, engaging into Void Celeste is kind of int. So then you can hold, like, the little high ground on the top side, hold this island, and then you're at least safe for like a minute more. So but yeah, you guys, like, sadly only survived this because they just didn't choose to beat you guys because they weren't sure how to do it.
They're like, we'll show mercy.
Yes, they even see the nuke.
Yeah, and here is where, like, I start regretting not being more aggressive. Oh yeah, I do see that nuke. Because I have Abyss Specialist, the best power in the game, and I am Celeste above Abyss. Like, I could actually just harass these teams with little to no threat. Because, like, I can always just go back to this island, and we have a Zeph.
Yeah.
And an Oath. So, like, any poke damage I take will just instantly be healed. But then we're, like, making them spend abilities. Like, maybe not in this exact situation, but, like, there were so many situations in the next, like, 3 minutes where I could have just absolutely abused Abyss Specialist and gotten kills, gotten us a better position. But I just didn't, because I didn't have the confidence to, I guess.
Yeah, so they get the Celeste out of you, but yeah, again, like, I think sadly it's just kind of luck that you kind of survive at this point. But I agree, like, just playing with islands, let's just see what happens next. Here you probably could have looked like you can play with Abyss here, poking them, because you still have the tiny, like, spot below you as well to kind of play on. I think your best bet, like, you do at least have a backup plan. Like, if you get bitched from the right side, you can play on the bottom left there at least. There's options. Oh, there I would go. Oh, there I would just go, okay, that's a good snipe at least. You do get him. There I would also go. I would just shift after the off here. Yeah. This is where you can just... You need to kind of play live to be able to get something to get back.
Playing way more aggressive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like...
Okay, it's good from Sino to set. I think he should stay there, though. I don't think, like... Setting up is good, but he's not really using the chunker there, but, like, staying there and playing together. Yeah. But yeah, you for sure. I like that you guys go down. So this we talked about, because also, fun enough, from the other POV, I told them that they're rotating way too late. And you guys have the perfect position here. So from the other POV, they are fucked, because you're Celeste, and they're wanting to come here.
Yeah.
But you end up giving the space to them for free. Like, you could just hold this. You have ult, you have wall, you have, like, Abyss Specialist. I think you hold this for dear life. I like that you're looking here.
Yeah, I should have.
But yeah, you shift left instead of down, and then you gave them the spot. That's, I think, your, like, big mistake there. Because that's, again, like, being the one early in the circle, being able to bitch the teams away, I think can, like, save you the game right there. But since they got space, then again, like the other thing, I think you guys... kind of just lost on that. You can try to bitch the team on the left side here, but right side is such a good position now.
Yeah. I think also like I needed Sinoid with me or Luna with me because like the whole thing with the best specialist in that position is like, sure, I'm going to take some poke damage, but I'm holding that space.
Yeah.
But if I have a healer with me, then it's just like Exodia. Like
Yeah.
they can poke me out, but they can't kill me. And then when I do it again, I'm full health again.
Yeah. Although, like, just small note on the like Celeste v Celeste standoff, the moment she ults, you should just instantly ult after, because then your timing will just be on point afterwards. But yeah, this just mainly happens. I think
alternatively, here I could have when Arba ulted, I could have just Abyss Specialist away.
That as well.
And just like, yep, he just wastes his ult.
But also, since he ults first, like in Celeste v Celeste standoff, the one who ults first kind of just loses. Yeah. But yeah, I think this game mainly comes down to being the one to either early rotate into circles, like not being afraid of holding the other team off, like having islands inside and making sure that you stop anybody trying to come from the outside when you're on the back foot. Because if you guys are strong, then you just want to slowly play inwards. But I think it's a good rule of thumb, and it's worked like really well for me, that when you're behind, you want to be early in circle and try to bitch people. But if you're in a good position, you want to play inwards and then kind of just dictate where you push people around to get your best spots. At least my idea on this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, sure. Any questions or any other things you wonder about on this game specifically before I jump to the other one?
Just there was something you said earlier that that I think made a lot of sense, but I want to make sure like I'm phrasing it correctly in my notes. And that's, you said if outside circle play inside out, if you're inside circle play outside in. Was that correct? Or
yeah, if you're weak, you play inside out. If you're strong, you play outside in.
Yeah.
But like
it's just because
remember
of like what you can do.
Yeah, exactly.
With that strength.
Yeah, because like when you're on the inside, say you're the weak team on the inside, if a strong team comes against you, you can try to hold it, but realistically you'll see the strong team be like, okay, we just gotta back off, but at least we're inside the circle. But if a weak team comes, then okay, this is a 50-50, but it's really actually like a 60-40, because they need to cross into, they're on a timer of being pushed by the circle. So you're one in a position where if a strong team comes, like, okay, it's fine, we tried, but if a weak team, like, okay, this is our way back kind of stuff.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. That's good to know. Yeah. Cool.
I can start the next one then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright, so see, this is another team and another comp.
Yeah. Yeah, this is VB, my main team. However, this comp was like finagled together last minute, kind of. I feel like our meta read based on our champion pools was pretty bad this patch, just because like none of us play Oath or Zeph.
Yeah,
and so it's like
that's rough, yeah.
And like I can play Oath, but not on ping. Like, and here you'll see like even Stalker. Like I learned from this game, I'm never playing Stalker on ping again. Like wait, I can't do any of the movement tech.
Is this EU show match? Is this not EU?
This is EU show match, yeah.
Oh no, yeah, your end name. I'm trolling. Yeah, I just forgot your end name. My bad.
Yeah. I had particularly bad ping this patch, or I had like 180 milliseconds of ping, which is just like actually unplayable.
Yeah.
So like if it was North America, I would feel way more comfortable playing Oath. And then I think this comp looks really strong. Like Oath, Bishop, Felix, Shrike. That's like not bad.
Except the Shrike though.
Yeah. The Shrike
is probably like probably just one of the weakest hunters this whole patch.
Yeah. I think somebody was saying it yesterday in the Supervive channel, like Shrike is the kind of character you need to play around from
Yeah.
like draft phase.
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
I think so. Like my take on the hunters in like a competitive setting, since we're like looking for the show matches, I think Stalker, I think Brawl, what more? I think Shiv are all never gonna be competitive viable unless they're super broken, because all of these hunters are reliant on enemies making mistakes in melee combat and getting into short range combat with other team, basically. And I think it's very unrealistic when other hunters like with Oath and Felix and KP being good in close quarter, but giving different and kind of better value.
Yeah, I would mostly agree. I think it was EU show match day 2. We actually won with Shiv, with me on Shiv. But at the same time, it was the sort of game where like Shiv was good in this game, but it wasn't. It was very much a pocket pick, not the optimal pick.
Yeah, so like
I
misunderstand
was
me
on
correctly.
Felix and
like,
I felt comfortable on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
If
like
I
I think
Felix
everything is viable at this point, because to be honest, we all still suck at the game. Like we're not good at this game yet, and everything is viable. But I think like in a competitive, like thinking about how it would look probably fairly quickly, looking at how the game is developing, then with more access to the game, those kind of hunters will just not be good in competitive settings. But yeah, like I think like I'm not saying they're unplayable by any means.
No, absolutely. And I felt it on. I think even like Venomous put out a video of like
the Felix versus Shiv.
just like that. Just like the guy sweating, doing everything. And it's like, yeah, that's what you need to play Shiv this patch. You need to play freaking perfectly. And that's just not going to always happen. So, yeah, pocket picks like that. If Shiv, particularly right now, feels kind of like Yasuo to me, of like this very risky pick that only really works if you build around it.
It's just Samira. GG. Spin to win.
Oh, yeah, Samira. That's a better comparison, yeah.
Just the same thing, actually.
Yeah.
Just you can auto attack while ulting here. More broken. GG.
Yep. So yeah, with our comp here, I think originally what I had wanted to do was Bishop Celeste, Felix Shrike. Just because I thought the Celeste was better in this metagame, at controlling space, pushing people away. If we had to play a more defensive mode, Celeste is way better. This comp has no defensive mode.
Yeah, I think Celeste instead of Stalker here would be really good. I think like what is Siggy's hunter pool like?
Mainly Shrike, Kingpin, Bishop.
Oh, dude, Kingpin in show matches is bossy.
I mean, I love Kingpin in show matches, but you know.
They're like, okay, like does the Master like play
Kingpin, you know?
Does the Master play like any controllers? Like does he play Void or Celeste or anything like that?
No.
Oh, because like if what is
his two
like?
best are Felix and Jewel.
Oh, but the Jewel is still kind of busting this patch.
Yeah.
Dude, like this
I
comp...
think actually like a really, really strong comp that I don't think anybody played was like Oath, Bishop, Jewel, Shrike. Or
Shrike?
Because Shrike has the longest form of anti-heal in the game. It's like 10 seconds long.
But it's very
unreliable. So if you
unreliable.
anti-heal the enemies and dive, then it's like... as long as you're in a controlled environment, there's like, for that entire fight, they cannot heal. I think that's also, you have to max the E though, so...
And you don't really want me doing that, so I see what you're getting at, but I think Shrike was probably...
Maybe I'm cooking too much,
yeah. But like, I think if you like keep the Bishop here, you go Celeste, Jewel, KP, then you guys have a bussing comp.
I would agree. Yeah.
Like, of course, like the best would be like having a support, but if you guys just don't play the supports, then like that's fine. But making the best out of a worse position, I think like is the Bishop Celestial KP. I think that's kind of buzzing for you guys, and we'll say this.
Yeah.
Because I think the problem is like, sure, you can like Stalker Felix can kind of synergize playing in, trying to look for the picks, and then Bishop follow up. But like, I think Shrike is just like crying with his team comp. I think Shrike like just sadly like is just not smiling the whole game. That's my imagining here.
And 100%, I think the reason why we lost this game was because our team fighting was just absolute garbage. Like, I don't play Stalker enough to play Mincho matches. Nowhere near like the Parias or the Blixmans or any of that. So like I had my movement tech wrong, in part because of the ping, but also in part because I'm just not proficient enough. And then in terms of like positioning during a team fight, I was playing Stalker way more like a kingpin than I was like a Stalker. Of like just looking to like stay by my team and then throw a dagger in, and if I hit, then we go in. It's like I could have been on Kingpin and had infinitely more value in this comp.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, let's get into it again. I think that's like a good roundup of also like the meta in general, but it's gonna be interesting to see how it changes for next patch, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, so what were your guys' idea on the circle here? What do you guys want to be doing?
Like instantly, as you can see, I'm already pinging Scathbay. I'm thinking like if we can get like, or if we can just like stick together and fight to get like we have a pretty strong level 1 with Bishop Shrike. Like we're in close quarters, we're in Scath Bay, we're playing together. Like we could like just team fight our way out of it. And so like especially with the Kaiju Vault right there, I feel like Scath Bay is just like the optimal drop location.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's just the best spot. I'm pretty sure my team drops there, like pretty sure.
Yeah, I think like 3 other teams dropped here.
Okay, so one note I see here though, I think it's worth noting with the new drop system, is that you do not want to be dropping on camps anymore. The reason being
you want to
is
be
that,
dropping a little before.
yeah, because now you have the options of clicking in the abyss. Like you have the options to be clicking in the abyss, and you want to be like posturing yourself into multiple camps. So like right here, I think like we will probably drop here or something, because right here that we have 3 options to play for with camps basically, and we're a little bit ahead, so we'll see where other people are moving.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and that's probably us. Like I said it there. Wait, is it only us 2 here actually?
No, it's another team.
It's another team? Wait, did we not drop here?
You can see there's like
Oh no, they dropped on you.
3
Yeah,
other teams.
yeah. Okay, so you guys dropped. Wait, I didn't see that. So you guys dropped exactly on. I didn't see that.
Yeah. And
yeah,
here
this
is
is
a little bit of like miscommunication between the team of like which camp we wanted.
Yeah, because you can see slightly at the end there. So this is the problem with landing on camps right now. Like I didn't even notice you guys were landing on a team right here. So there's three teams right there now. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get out at least. You have the camps to play on, and then at this
you
point,
can
what is
see the rubber
important?
banding.
Yeah, but at this point, what I think is really important to know is that since there's 3 teams, you wanna be thinking about like this area as the same thing as like a 3-way standoff in a late game. You do not want to be the first team to engage, because if you engage, then the third team want to third party you. So it's all about like standoff here, poking, looking for camps, resources, and hoping that other teams fight before you.
That makes sense.
So like your guys' comp here, you have Bishop and Shrike. Shrike and Bishop just wants to be poking, and then like sure, if you can get one guy really low, like Stalker engage one shot and get out, but no like hard committing by any means. Alright, so what do you guys do here?
Yeah.
Get Robber. Okay, you go up to the right side. I think it's fine. Oh, you do? Oh yeah, you do meet up with Nisa. He saw you guys.
Yeah. The idea here from a macro perspective, and this is one of the reasons why I love Scout Bay, is I feel like immediately, because we got a bad drop, we kind of like almost instantly lost the POA. But it's at the same time not the worst thing, because we can go up to machine, get good armor in a vault. However, we're caught on the rotation and we just kind of fall.
Yeah, but I agree with the idea of it. That's why I also like really like playing offsides. That's why I agree with it. Like, okay, sure, a lot of team here, fucked up the drop. Let's get armor in machine. We're kind of chilling. Maybe run to stack, see if if somebody forgot the books, and then play more. It's like I agree. I think that's like a good idea overall.
It's a very stable drop where if we want to play really aggressive, we can. But if we're wanting to play a slower game, we also can. It's maybe not the most like reliable drop. Maybe just like straight up dropping stacks or dropping Gold Fang or something like that is more consistent. But I like the adaptability of the drop.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a good idea. Why do you guys choose not to go into stacks now, though?
Yeah, I think here we were just thinking let's get a good position for night. But yeah, we could have gone stacks. Especially since I don't think anybody dropped stacks, did they?
No, I don't think because the
not that I saw.
Yeah, because the path was basically all on the bottom here. So you guys had the best route from scavenger up to machine into grid into stacks kind of stuff.
Yeah, we also could have tapped UAV to see.
Exactly.
Like for sure where the teams were.
Because what I would do if I'm in your position right here, I would probably want to take stacks. You have the vault here, you have the vault in Hallows, you have the vault in Magebog, and then you wait for the next train, because you already see the next circle after there again, which is good since you see the next circle. I would just wait at Magebog until next train, and then train to the other side of the map, and then play for position for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Because you have triple vault there, which I think will not be contested at all. And even if one of them could get contested, you still have camps even further up, which nobody's clearly at, because everybody's on like the bottom left side of the map because of the first drop phase.
Yeah.
Wait, do you not even take the vault behind you?
No, we're just like sprinting.
Yeah. So I think that's like the big thing, because you're really weak, so powers is really important.
I forgot about train.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I could have, if I had remembered about using train for tempo, like we could have taken our time way more and still gotten in a good position. But I was thinking of it like, man, we have to go to the opposite side of the map. We better start sprinting.
Yeah, and that's fair. Like that's often like the first reaction, and that's the good thing about like having the zone thing on the train, which you can just stand on. And I think with the timing here, like if you're efficient, like the moment you guys rest up, I would probably like not even rest in Hallows. Like when you get up here, you rest in stacks, insta loot, vault, 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 and then I think you're still ready for the train.
Yeah.
And even like in worst case scenario at that point, you have the scanner in Vein Grove, see position of the team and play accordingly in basically. But yeah, I think like the triple vault here will really get you back into the game, as well as getting the levels. Because if you get stacks there, you save the red book. Like you get all the books, and but not the red book, and then just save the red book until you like best case scenario you get to the other side of the map. You meet a team, pop the book, and then you're like super strong. Like surely you'll have like insane powers from the other vaults. So
yeah. I think also we were checking the vaults a little bit, and if they didn't have powers that we thought were strong, we just didn't bother.
That's fair.
Because I know I
like,
checked that one in Magehog, and it was like, what? I want a ghillie suit.
There was a
Maybe
TP
the best
there.
thing in there was a glider boost. Was there a TP?
Let me double check. I don't remember.
Let me double check.
There is a group TP. Like I would 100% take this.
And a glider engines? What the fuck am I
Yeah.
doing?
What are you doing, man? Like the
What am
thing
I
is
doing?
but the thing is like you have 0 power. So even if this vault was shit,
Yeah.
when you just have
Anything's
no
better.
power, yeah, like just anything is better. Like even the ghillie suit.
Yeah.
Like the NA special. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're not wrong. Ghillie suit in the first NA show match of this playtest
Yeah.
actually like saved my team from getting like 9th. We went from probably getting like 9th to we end up getting like 6th, I think.
Yeah, helps a lot. Helps a lot.
Hey, I mean, we got closer.
But yeah, because like right now you're kind of just running on top side, pinging creeps, trying to get back on that. But yeah, I think like just any powers would
At
help you
this
guys
point,
tremendously.
yeah. And like the strategy you suggested was way better than the one I'm thinking of, which is like I'm thinking like, yeah, we can wait for night in Vangrove and get ghosts and then get level 5 from there. We can also get the night boss that will probably be in Vangrove. And then we can just kind of like chill.
Like even like if you want to be super niche, like you one-shot this boss, you recall to the bonfire, and then you one-shot 2 of the vaults and get back because zone did 0 damage the first 2 zones. But, but that's what if you want to be big brain, but I don't think it's really worth it. But you know, just for mentioning.
Yeah,
sake.
I mean, it would have been better to just like go stacks, get the book, take the vaults, and then get on the train, rotate around to Wellspring. Yeah, and here another like little bit of communication. I'm like calling for people to like split and take ghosts, but we aren't.
Yeah,
we aren't doing it very well.
Yeah, you can all get level 5 here if there's 2/2 creeps.
Yeah, and then also like I'm messing with my items right now. I'm like my individual mechanical play here is very bad because I should have been taking that camp with Fate, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting the ghillie suit anyway. So I mean, I should have just taken it from the vault.
Yeah, so what is rough now is like at least you're opening the vaults quick, but now you're playing on the same side as every other team, and you're kind of just playing with the circle, and you're weak. But you don't really like as I mentioned last game. Like when you're weak, you kind of want to be playing in circle and pushing people out. But at this point, I don't think you like have any pushing power even with your team. Like I think your comp last game,
Yeah, our comp's really bad. Yeah, I was I beat myself up about draft phase so often. I've been like trying to come up with like this like cohesive draft theory so that I understand the game better, and it's just like we would have had Bishop, Felix, Celeste, Shrike, which is it's not bad, but
it helps.
Yeah, not great.
Okay, at least get like a sand wall here. Helps a bit. Hopefully, you give it to the Shrike.
Oh my god.
Oh, I will pretend that I didn't see that. I will say that mob is my biggest enemy, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Because it pushes you away, and if I try to slam it as KP, it annoys the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Oh wait, actually this is so funny. I now remember watching this from the green team's POV yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Oh, because Face Strike, like you guys should just be engaged on here, but they choose to follow the bishop even after she ults there, while they could have just 3v4 turned on you guys while Zik is down. Wait, they didn't even know that Zik was down, but like just turning 4v3 on you guys while you're below there, I think will like make their game so much easier. So you guys get bailed out here because the enemy is making just a bad decision.
Yeah. They also should have been able to see the 2 ATP. Mechanical note here, I should have been standing on those stairs, so I had the vision.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. So we were completely blind, just like praying in a bush.
Yeah, so now you kind of are on the... Why the jump pad?
Jump pad, I had thought there was somebody like to our left. And so I'm like, we jump pad and just go super fast. And then, yeah, it ended up being that it was a little ambitious. Let's just put it that way.
Oh,
It was
good.
a
Oh,
little
good.
over. Yeah, it was a little too fast.
But yeah, so you're just kind of just scouting around. Bishop is on the other side, but at this point, I think the only way back is to try to look for third parties. Like, if you ever find a team, you just don't want to engage at them at any point. I think it's fine. Like, for example, like the spot you're at here is kind of good. Like, maybe just push up in this angle, wait for people trying to come in from this circle side and cheese somebody. But yeah, any like straight up fights I think is really rough. Somebody's resting on the train. Honestly, here, when you guys see somebody resting on this train, I would not want to chase it, but I would move towards it. Because people's natural reaction is to try to either, if other people are weak, try to stop it, to try to get back and try to fight them, or the people that were fighting them will try to catch them to try to stop them from reviving. You also see a team up here. You knew there was a team up here earlier. So if you guys play this ledge, you can try to third party people come in. Like, there's at least 4 teams up here.
Yeah.
This is like your third party moment to try to get back into the game, I think.
Yeah, definitely could have done that. I think I was a little gun shy though, and just like wanted the good position. But like, as I kind of mentioned, I'm playing Stalker here, like I'm playing a Celeste or an Oath or something like that. I'm wanting to just like stick with my team and like get a good position and just like chill in the late game.
Yeah, but sadly, I don't.
When I should be playing like, I'm just like bloodthirsty all the time. I should be looking for fights as often as I can.
I don't think you necessarily should be looking for fights all the time, but I don't think you should value positioning, because I don't think position does anything for you because you're so weak.
I should.
Yeah.
I should value a potential fight more than I should value a good position.
Yeah.
With this character.
Not because of the character, but because of the state of your team. Like, you're really starved at this point. You have decent armor, but you have like no powers. You have like no powers, so you're not in like a winning position by any means. So I think if you guys want to play to win this game, you need to third party the teams up there, try to get their powers, steal some items, shards, like anything to get back. Because just if you like, because right now you're very isolated. If you meet one team around this area, this is most likely gonna be an isolated fight, and you're gonna lose because the probability of that team you're meeting, like around this area, will be just stronger than you. Like you saw like
and that's exactly what ends up happening.
Yeah, because like you saw us guys here, and then there were at least 4 teams here, plus you guys. That's like 6 teams. Let me see when you get out. Yeah, so there is just one team you don't know where it is.
Yeah. And and what ends up happening is we try to like hold these islands, and we end up facing like Chips's team.
Yeah.
And then we just like get face rolled by Jewel Stalker with like actually good mechanics.
Because again, like, I like the idea of holding the island, as we talked about last game. I think this is your best shot. Like, in the current position, I think like third partying above is better. I don't think you should leave with this jump pad. I think you should save this jump pad if they come. Like, if you want to be surviving this, you should try to hold this abyss.
Yeah, and so like, well, I want to see if you agree with this. So like, consensus with like this like final fight was either we all stay on this island and hold this island, or all of us go to that northern island and hold that island.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Like, sure, like any of the islands you can just try to hold. There's like the decently same amount of abyss on like both sides. There is also like powers dropping there, so I guess that's fine. Like, just being together on one of the islands and holding them, I think is important. But here you just kind of wasted the jump pad, which I think is crucial.
Yeah, and I think also like we need to be grouped up, holding together so much. If we were strong here, then maybe we can split up and it's fine, because like two of us will not just like instantly die if we fight. But what ends up happening is those two up there, they try to claim that space, but they're already too late in the rotation. Chips' team is already there taking space, and then Damstra and I are slow on the rotation. So then the fight is kind of over from there. And then on top of that, Damstra and I team fight badly, positioning with a more like front to back style when we should just be like diving on the back line instantly from the jump pad.
Yeah, so it's really smart from them putting down the song grenade to hold your other angle to come back. But yeah, as you say, like, I think if you just hold any of those islands together, then it's fine.
Yeah. And here I should have just bailed. Like, recover where I can. But instead, I'm like just trolling.
But yeah, so I won't really push too
and
much on the mechanics as that's really...
Yeah, a lot of, and that's kind of what I was saying in DMs was like, I don't think either of these games we lost because of, or like, I think the biggest reason why we lost these two games was because of like mechanics, and like we could improve better, or like we could have team fought better, or like I could have played better. Like with the Abyss Specialist, I could have used that so much better than I did. But like positioning was still something that we could have done better as well.
Yeah, I agree and I disagree. I think, for example, with the first game, I think the issue with that game is that I don't think your mechanics really matter, because the reason you survived was because of the enemy not realizing they could fuck you over. So it's like you survive because the teams in general are not aware of their capabilities. So you're not really at the stage where the mechanics would matter. And this also at the same stage where I think you can be playing for third parties over, because you need to kind of realize that you're not really in a state to be able to play for the mechanics, because your team is just objectively weaker than most teams in general. So in game one, I think it really relies on your positioning and trying to hold teams off out of the circle. And then the second game on the third parties, basically. Because I think those... I think both those two things are your main loss reasons, actually, not the mechanics, really. Because if these two scenarios didn't happen, like say you play for the holding or say you play for the third party, and both those goes well, then I think the stage after there is going to be the mechanics. Because if the first one succeeds and you get the powers in the first game and you get one team out, then you'll be at an even footing. So if you take a fight, the mechanics will be the defining matter. And in the second game, you're also on the back foot, but if you get back by the macro play, then your next fight will be the mechanical input kind of thing. So I think the next stage on both these sides would have been the mechanical if you did the macro correct thing first. But I agree. You could, of course, you could of course do mechanical things better. I'm not saying that by any means, but I think the lead up, and like especially in BRs, I think it could have like led up to it being the like deciding factor kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think like that's how a lot of teams are winning right now. Is just like they're. Let me think of how to phrase this. Like,
oh, good.
Not to say like their macro is bad or anything. That's absolutely not what I'm saying. I think just like some teams are so mechanically good that in an even fight, or even when they're behind, they can just like outplay it, and they play for that. And so they can just play like way more aggressively.
Yeah, for sure.
And so like I think with my team especially, because I have a lot of like high MMR league players on my team, and I think they care a lot about their like individual mechanics. That's like almost their dream is like, yeah, we can just like outplay anybody. When I'm trying to look at it way more from this tactical perspective. So I really do appreciate this coaching for that reason.
Yeah, I think
That being
like
said, I am still going to practice, mechanics as much as I can, but it's, it's a holistic perspective on the game that makes me, or that I hope will make me skilled.
Yeah, because I think my take on that, I think is like a very valid thing to say, because I think my take on that is that mechanics will matter less and less the better we get at the game, because this game is so complex and there is so many mechanics, things, creativity, etc, which can help you win the game. And that's always why I like talk about like your objective state compared to other teams, like what you have, because at some point if you just play around the powers, your combos, the map, the zones, whatever it is, mechanics will matter less and less. But at this point, like, I totally agree with you, like we this show match, or like not show match, but us this test, we were kind of not really thinking too much in pub games because we can run people down. I think a good example for my own case is my first show match game. This playtest, we played really heavily on macro because we ended up behind in many positions. But well, actually the second kind of also, but that was like NA ping, we can blame it on. But like this game we played as well, we kind of just ran people down. We didn't really use brain. But I think that will work less and less as we progress into the game. So I do agree, like with your teammates, like if you just want to focus mechanics, I think mechanics will always be super important. But always making sure that, using the downtime between test nows and thinking about how you can play the game better is really important to set up for later, basically.
Yeah, 100%. As I've kind of shifted into more this like lead shot caller for my team, like I've spent so much more time like reviewing games and trying to think of like, how can I communicate better? How can I make decisions better? How can I make decisions faster? That sort of thing. And like something I was talking about with Nidhogg was a lot about like mental bandwidth of like, I'm still, relative to a lot of the players I'm playing against, I am super inexperienced. Just this playtest, I hit 100 hours.
Okay, damn.
So like, compared to so many players, absolute beginner. And so like all of the mental bandwidth I have to go through to make macro decisions. Like I was thinking of this one time, like we had lost a fight in Scav Bay, and I was thinking of like, okay, where do we go next? And I was having to think of like, okay, we can go up to Machine because that's a good place to go to. That's a safe place to go to. It gives us good resources, but we need to get a revive off still. So where's the closest beacon? Okay, there isn't really a beacon very close. Wait, do we have enough money for a ruined beacon? Oh, we do. Okay, where's a nearby ruined beacon? There's a nearby ruined beacon. Maybe go there. And so I have to like go through that entire like thought process to come to the right decision. And meanwhile, I was playing with Nidhogg, and he's just like, yeah, just go to that ruined beacon. Because he just knew that the ruined beacon was there, and all he needed to do was check if we had enough money.
Yeah.
So like a lot of that sort of thing will just come with experience. And as I play more, I'll get more familiar with the map, get more familiar with like keeping track of things.
100%.
But it's also why I'm wanting to do these VOD review sessions as much as I can, because, I had no idea there was a 100% chance of a grappling hook in Shards of Fate, And so like little
I'm
tips
just
like
praying
that,
it stays for next patch. Please stay for next patch.
Oh, it would be so cool.
But yeah, I was abusing that Voltis patch, just finding that out. But yeah, there is a lot of niche things, and there will always be more and more. I think is why I also love this game, with the depth and the things you can learn. So I appreciate this chat, and you also like take the time to bring your POV in. I think I also like learn things from just watching other people. I think like your tree thing, that was big brain. I didn't even think about that. Like you actually removed it to take over the tree spot. Like if somebody like it's that big brain that they know the tree spots, they won't even tell. And then being able to watch from other POVs, like I wouldn't probably never think about the Void Seth Celeste combo that I mentioned if I haven't seen your POV in that kind of scenario. And being able to see from other people's perspective, I think helps just learning and see different angles.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, do you have any other questions, anything you're wondering about in general that you want to be talking about? I still have about like 30 minutes until my next coaching session anyway, or unless you have gotten what you need.
Um, I mean, I've gotten a lot about like MicroStrategy, which I love. Like a lot of things about tempo, a lot of things about like where do I want to be in the circle based on my objective state, and my strength and that sort of stuff. Which I think all of that is incredibly valuable. I guess some other things that maybe would just be better to have like a textbook understanding of would be like what is the best way to execute a third party or something like that. Because sometimes I think people start fighting in third parties way too soon. It's like they see two people fighting and then they're like, okay, now we jump in.
Yeah, that's a very good question actually. The textbook way to third party. I actually never thought about that. I think the way I would probably look at it in general, now I'm kind of just like thinking in the moment because I haven't really thought about that too much. I think in general, what you want to be looking for is major abilities being used. I think like fighting in general can always look like a deeper fight than it actually is. Like people can be standing pretty close to each other, but it's just like poking back and forwards. I think the tell, and probably when I think back to like third parties I've done myself, I think what we communicate in most cases is that one, do we hear any ults being used? Like if you hear, for example, like a Celeste ult being used or a Ghost ult, like you know they're pretty deep in the shit. Like that's kind of a good indicator to they're really fighting. It's not just a poke battle. You can tell that something is going on. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's the moment to third party, but that's like the first indicator that I would think about. That's like, okay, be close. It might end soon. And if you're close enough to see that people are half or like 1/3 or whatever, and you have heard ults being used, I would say that's a good indicator to fight. Now, if you're unsure, like say ults haven't been used, I would say second thing is always going to be like shift abilities, like the mobilities.
Yep.
If you are close by and you can scout certain hunters using their major shift abilities and you're not in vision, then that's a very good indicator to now we can just jump that guy and he won't be able to do anything.
Yeah.
And do I have a
right
third
as
one?
soon as you said like keep an eye on what abilities are on cooldown, I immediately was writing in my notes like, okay, what dashes, what ults.
Yeah, I think those are like, of course, the major, because ults you can hear very like you can't hear the shifts. So ults you want to listen to, and shift you need to see, kind of stuff. You can hear like Celeste shift kind of decently. Like I'm sure some of them have like more distinguished sounds, but I would say in general you can easily hear ults compared to shifts. A third note, I would probably say that what's your position compared to who you're fighting? Like if you hear a fight and they're on high ground, I think it's very scary to look. Like if you have a jump pad, you can like always cheat any scenario, but you got to think about like, am I jumping onto an island? Are they fighting on an island? Are they fighting on high ground? Are they fighting like around a lot of walls? So that really depends on what your team comp want to do. Like if you do have like an off KP bishop, then like, okay, if they're fighting along a lot of walls, we don't give a fuck, just go in, that's our main position to fight from. But say your team comp right now, like it's like does decent with walls, but like I imagine Stalker and Shrike wants more space to play with, so like having islands can be decent, or playing from high ground down. But yeah, I think like these are like 3 points I could come with right now that is like very important things to think about when looking for third parties in general.
Yeah, absolutely. This is valuable. Thank you. So high ground.
My great writing with Epic Pen. This is great coaching moment. My horrible writing.
Hell yeah. That's how you know you're like you're doing it right.
Just gotta master the Epic Pen.
Yeah, there we go. Got that down. Think of the position we were fighting. It's a high ground, water walls, choke points, super abyss, islands, etc. Fantastic. As well as abilities. Yeah. Do you think when you start hearing boxes, it's
Oh
too
yeah,
late to third party?
no, for sure. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah, of course. Like you can hear boxes, you hear people die, like 100%. I didn't even think about that right
Yeah.
now. Like that would actually probably just be the number one thing. Like I always count. Like if you watch my POVs and I hear people start dying, I'll start saying one dead. Like, because we don't know for like which team, but I'll say like 1 dead, 2 dead, 3 dead. Okay, like if I hear like 3 dead, I'm like, dude, like just fight, just go, like hell yeah.
Yeah.
At least 3 people from one team, or like 1 from one and 2 from other team is down, just hella go. That's actually a good question. I forgot, but like I always count dead sounds that I hear, so that's probably like the number one actually.
Very good. Very valuable. Okay. We still got plenty of time.
Yeah. Like if you
That
want to
only
go
took
early,
like
I don't
5
mind,
minutes.
but I love like chatting in general, so
Absolutely.
this also makes me think more about it, and like we're all still trash at the game. I need to learn and think more actively what
Yeah.
what I'm doing myself. So
God, there was a game I was VOD reviewing with Aiden Mithy and Jay, and I was just like cringing my face off because I was just watching the play and I was just like mechanical misplay after mechanical misplay after mechanical misplay, and then I wanted to fight anyway, and I'm like, oh my God, I have no right to survive in that fight, and I have no right to like win that game,
sometimes
and
you
it's
just gotta
just
take the
purely
dub.
like. Yeah. I mean, I'll take the dub, but at the same time, like, I didn't win because I outplayed the enemy. I won because they outplayed themselves.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing to like think about in general. What I like to do is when I don't feel like I am improving, or maybe I don't know exactly what I want to be focusing on, then I do like, what should the enemy have done in this situation? What I'm doing. Like if I
Yeah,
feel like I'm playing good, if I'm
100%.
playing in a good position, then okay, just switch perspective. Like what would the enemy do in this situation, and how would that change my outcome on this?
Yeah, for sure. I used to uh competitively play Yu-Gi-Oh! And
Ooh,
one of the ways
interesting.
I would try to improve was I'd play a duel against myself and I'd record it. And then like when I was reviewing it, I would look at like each card in my hand and like knowing each deck,
Hmm.
trying to keep track of like, okay, doing each with each deck, what's the optimal play, and then what's the opponent's deck's optimal play against that play. Like
That's
just
big
trying
brain.
to
That's
get
big
like
brain.
more and more of an
Hmm.
optimal like textbook understanding of how to play the game. Especially since like card games like Yu-Gi-Oh, there's so much consistency.
Hmm.
Like a lot of duels end up being and end up playing out pretty much the same way.
Yeah.
Like just trying to get to a point where like it's kind of like chess of like you have book moves and it's just like, okay, what's the book move for this example, and then
Hmm.
just play that book move, and I don't even need to think about it anymore.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to look at it. I think that's really smart.
So yeah, I guess let's review the notes I've
Hmm.
gotten from the SWOT review. So outside of like the amazingly cool thing of 100% chance of grappling hook and shark fate, that is game changing for me. That is insane to consider. Now I'm going to be like, if I'm ever on a team when grappling hook is amazing, go Shards of Fate.
Just remember the first game you play next patch, don't say it's 100%. You say, let's check if it's 100%, because they might fix it. Because
Yeah.
I did ask a dev about it, and they were like, oh wait, shit, maybe it shouldn't work like this. So I'm like a little bit afraid it might not be a thing next patch.
Oh no.
So I've just been abusing
Yeah.
it this patch.
Yeah. Sending people to screw with camps in level 1 fights, and also
Hmm.
um treating early game hot drops like a late game standoff. I think those are some really good points of like just how to disrupt the enemy's econ, basically. And yeah, and then we get into like the textbook third party thing, which we just made notes about. With regard to like tempo, never forget about bonfire TPing. Never forget about like the opportunities with Rubber Raccoon. And I need to be, I need to always keep in mind about train, just because like sometimes I forget about train. You know, like
it's
it'll be on the opposite side of the map.
Thing,
I won't even keep an eye on it. You know. Yeah, and then I think honestly the like the thing I'm gonna be like scrawling on my wall to keep on like in my mind is like the when you're behind you want to be playing inside out, when you're ahead you want to be playing outside in. Is like that just like opens my macro understanding so much, Tom, you have no idea of like there's so many games I played where I'm like, I don't know what the optimal position is to be, or I don't know where I'm supposed to go. And now I'm like, okay, I can check, am I ahead or am I strong or am I weak? So
and
with that in mind.
To say on that note, just to give some more context, I think it's a good rule of thumb if you don't know what to do. Because like what I say in general is that all games have rules. And the rules can get you to the top percent if you just know all the rules. But the best players will know when to break the rules. That's the big difference. So the rule of thumb, I think
that with life too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so I think this can like help you a long way. But the big way is then like being able to recognize when you should break that rule, kind of thing. That's at least how I've been thinking about a lot of games.
No, absolutely. Like, so like my day job is I write music.
Ooh.
And like a lot of when I was starting out, it was a lot of just like writing on instinct and just like getting practice with writing music so that I know what I like and what my style is, kind of. And then I spent like 3 years just like hardcore studying music theory. So I knew like the quote unquote rules.
Yeah.
And now I've gotten kind of to a point where with like I understand the theory well enough that I also know when the rules almost get me to what I want, but don't quite. And I can break the rule to get exactly what I want.
Yeah.
And so even with, you know, random stuff like music theory, like mastery is kind of well, not to say I'm a master of writing music, but you know, like becoming more and more skilled, you not only learn the rules, but you'll know like when the rules don't apply or don't help you. Yeah, so even outside of gaming, I think that's like cool to keep track of.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So with that in mind, like, what do you think some of the exceptions are for when like you're ahead, but you don't want to be flying outside pushing in or something like that? Or you're behind, but you don't want to be playing inside out?
Let's see. I think a good example that I can think about is not always, but say for example you're playing cross country. I think if you're playing cross country, a lot of help you can do is following the circle. So not even playing outside or inside the circle, but following the circle can be a really big thing. And playing into the new positions that occur when the next zone starts moving. That is one thing.
Yeah, that's to me.
Another one that I can think about. I think also like in three-way standoffs in late game, then that rule just doesn't apply anymore. Then it's all about just your position compared to your other team's position. So I think that rule I think it probably applies to 10th until like 5th/4th place, I would say, like just on top of my head. And then when you get to the late game, there are new rules for like the 3-man standoff.
Yeah. Speaking of three-way standoffs, like something I often hear when I'm you know, playing with other teams and they're in a three-way standoff and we're talking about like we need to get we need to get the other two teams to fight.
Yeah.
Like, what sort of tactics do you tend to utilize to actually execute that?
It depends on comp, it depends on the tools that you have available. I think when you're in the position of you want to be like fucking over teams, I think there is also a strategy of choosing what team that you want to fuck over. So for example, you're in a 3-way standoff, but you are the weakest team. If you're the weakest team in a 3-way standoff and you want to be playing to win, I think your best shot is trying to fuck over the other weak team to fight the strong team, because you're not really in a position where you can try to fuck over the strong team. Now, I think if you're the strong team, your best bet is trying to fuck with the team that you believe is the strongest compared to yourself. So let me see, actually, I think I have a good example on that from lore tournament. I think if you just do just relic, like he has the POVs. Yeah, it was a late game EU2. A little bit more. Yeah, so like this is like a really good example. I think at this point, what we talked about here is that...
Yeah, this one.
So the thing here is that blue team, they have radioactive and they have gnarled heart. They're in the best position. They have really good powers. Now, Bomba Squad, they have like the damage result, but it's not like super strong, and they have like legendary armor. But I think in this spot, that blue team is the strongest team, which means that I don't really want to be stepping up trying to bully the blue team, because if I bully them, they might bully me harder back. So they have the zone, and they're the strong team. So then we want to force orange team into fighting blue team, and that's our best shot on trying to kill blue team.
Right.
That's like one example of that. I think another example is from the opposite side, when let's see, I'll do from my own POV, because I don't think that one was like watchable. It was like game 1 on here. Yeah. So for example, here is another 3-way standoff, where at this point, right now we try to rotate, we lose a member. We are now the weakest team in this position, and now we want to be trying to get back. So now my idea is trying to push the weakest team. Now this is where I would say it's like a rule of, because nobody has circle position. So you can't really take into consideration any team is in a strong position, because every team is now trying to move into a good position. So now we're in the spot where we're the weakest. We just want any team to fight. So we're like trying to get the most wanted, trying to play around and force anything on the teams. And the last thing we get is pushed off around... Let's see, last moment here. We get pushed into a corner, and here we just want any sort of fighting. So I'm putting the nuke onto a team to force them to choose between one, either they have to go all in onto the team on the left here, or they have to pick the pocket on the right side here, or they have to fight us on high ground. So like I'm putting 3 bad options. The only good option for them is the right side, if they all are on the same page and if they all go on the right side at the same time. So the only saving grace is that orange team was not on the same page. So one person jumped on the right side alone, and we can turn on that to get our most wanted up. So I think like 3-way standoffs are really interesting in general. And like requires a lot of like manipulation to get off, depending on like what position you're in.
Yeah, absolutely. I think third partying is one of those things that in BRs everybody just like instinctively understands is something they need to consider, and that's something, it is something that's strong. But like I know with my gameplay, sometimes I have a hard time like actually thinking through how to execute the third party effectively, or how to get teams to fight each other so that I can third party.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that. So yeah, this is good. Yeah. So essentially you're trying to think of like what tools you have, fuck over the other teams, and like which team you want to force into a bad position and try to get them into a situation where they only have bad options.
Yeah.
And they have to kind of like pick their poison. Do they fight? Do they split up? Do they take a bad position? Something like that.
Yeah, basically.
Sweet. Well, that is immensely helpful.
Love to hear that. No worries.
Well, damn. This is like an encyclopedia of knowledge that's trying to be downloaded into my brain.
Yeah, so like
what
I can probably like end to say is like, I don't know what is correct or what is wrong, but this is all just based on my experience with the game and what I am getting out of it. You know, this game might look completely different in 1 year time, but again, just like a combination of what I've learned the past year at least.
Yeah, but like theory in games develops over time anyway. Creating the basis of a theory now it doesn't mean it's any less valid now than the new theory in a year will be then. So, well, I've got to go feed my dog, and I think you've got like 13 minutes until your next coaching session. So I think I'll leave you there, Tom. This has been immensely helpful. Thank you so much.
No worries, man. It's been fun myself. I really enjoy doing this. So I hope you learned a lot. And again, I would love to do more of this if you feel like you ever hit the wall again and you need some more improvement. And if you feel like you're improving, I would love to hear from you as well, that you feel like it's actually helping out. So
yeah, I mean, until I'm beating you in every show match ever, and like I still have improvement to do.
Hell yeah.
And even then. So yeah.
I also, man, take care of your dogs, and then I'll be catching you around.
See you around, Tom. Thanks so much.
No worries, man. See ya. Bye.